Okay, so let's look at how to combine logarithms, multiple logarithms, using the logarithm laws. Let me remind you of the order of operations: exponents, multiplication, division, and addition, subtraction. And when we're combining logs, we're taking multiple logs and combining them into one, so we're going from outside to inside. When you go from outside to inside, you go up the ladder. So addition becomes multiplication inside, multiplication becomes exponent inside, and subtraction becomes division inside. So those are the laws we'll be using. So for the first example, let's try to combine 1/2 log of quantity x plus 2 minus 3 log of x plus 4 times the log of y. So the first thing we see is all these multiplications will become exponents. So we can write it as log of x plus 2 to the 1/2 power minus log of x to the third plus log of y to the fourth. So multiplication outside becomes exponent inside. So to emphasize that on this first one, we might throw all of this inside brackets because that exponent of 1/2 should be inside the logarithm. Okay, and now we look at the first two. We've got subtraction of logs, so that's going to be division. Furthermore, you might realize that x plus 2 to the 1/2 is simply the square root of x plus 2. So if you look at it that way, you get log of, this will be on top, square root of x plus 2 over, because this subtraction, x cubed. So we've combined the first two logs. Subtraction outside becomes division inside. And then we've still got plus log of y to the fourth. So finally, I combine these two logs by multiplication. So don't forget the y to the fourth is over 1. So the y to the fourth will be on the top of this fraction inside. So we have log of y to the fourth times the square root of x plus 2 all over x cubed. If you want to, you could throw parentheses around all of this just to be more clear. So some shortcuts here. Notice that all the positive terms, this term was a positive and this term was a positive, ended up on the top, and all the negative terms, the positive terms here ended up on top. The 1/2 was an exponent, the 4 was an exponent, so this is what you get on top, and any negative terms end up on the bottom. So you can use that shortcut to sort of go directly from your first step to your last step if you'd like. Okay, here we have multiple logarithms going on. The first thing I would do is distribute my negative here. So I'll have log base 3 of x plus 1. Don't lose your base of 3, by the way. It's very important that these all have base 3. Otherwise, you can't use the logarithm law if the bases aren't the same. So I distribute my negative. And now I use the shortcut I mentioned on the previous example. All my positive terms here and here will be on top, and all my negative terms here and here will be on bottom. Okay, and I also realize that this 2 will become an exponent on this. So I can use all of those at once to see that I will get one big log. Combine always means combine into a single logarithm. So we end up with log base 3 of, on top I'll have x plus 1, times x plus 2 to the second power, right, because plus becomes multiplication, and multiplication becomes an exponent, and this is all over 2, because log base 3 of 2, that's division because it was subtraction before, so I've got 2, and then the 4 is multiplication as well. Now you might ask yourself, why is it 2 times 4 when it's a minus? Well, they're both negative, so they both go on bottom with multiplication. So we end up with, if you wanted to replace this with 8, you can do that. X plus 1 on top times x plus 2 squared all over 8. And there we go.